This is MLB Now. We are the show for the thinking fan. Hi again, everybody. I'm Brian Kenny. Good to be back with you. The Yankees and Padres both looking sharp in separate sweeps. Two second-place teams, do they move up? Rob Parker again is in the showdown. Dan Plesac and Tom Verducci on the panel. And Eddie McCullough of The Athletic will join us. His book on Clayton Kershaw is out. And we start actually right there. Clayton Kershaw, tough start last night against the Padres. Went 3 2/3, gave up 7 runs, 3 of them earned. It's only his second start of the season, coming off shoulder surgery. Wasn't good. It's been a few years since Kershaw was the best pitcher in baseball. But you might be surprised how little he's actually declined as he's aged. Let's do a little digging in. Clayton Kershaw is in his age 36 season. Basic Hall of Fame floor is a WAR, wins above replacement, of 60. Kershaw, as you see, is at 79. His win-loss is 210 to 93. Back in the old days, that low win total would cost him votes. You might recall Curt Schilling won 216 games. That was frequently cited for him not getting on the first few ballots. Anyway, that's not going to happen to Kershaw. Hall voting has already changed since then. But more importantly, here are the park-adjusted ERA plus leaders. ERA plus, again, park-adjusted, also adjusted to the run-scoring environment. Kershaw isn't just like top 5, top 10, top 20. Clayton Kershaw's number 1. I mean, that's amazing. He's 3 up on Pedro Martinez. Lefty Grove, Walter Johnson, Hoyt Wilhelm, they all pitched a lot more innings, mainly Grove and Johnson. A lot more innings. We know that. But number 1 all-time, 2,000 innings. It's quite an accomplishment. Now, along with all the success has been the battle, of course, in the postseason. Kershaw's 2.49 ERA turns into a 4.49 ERA in the playoffs. But amid the puzzling struggle is also an excellent run in that 2020 season, helping the Dodgers to a World Series title. He threw over 30 innings, had a 2.93 ERA. Here, though, is something else amazing. Kershaw, obviously a very different pitcher now than the one who dominated when he was in his 20s, but his run prevention, early career, late career, exactly the same. 2009 to 2015, ERA plus 100 is league average, a very, very high 162. But how about this? 2016 to 2023, the workload dropped, but his ERA plus is also 162. His strikeout rate also almost the same. Now, that's in an era of increased strikeouts. There were more strikeouts as years went by. But again, it's still remarkable. So we saw him last night. That was a rough one. But enjoy a true all-time great while he's still here. We've asked this question before, but I don't think to the people out there. We're asking you, who is the best pitcher of this era? Now, we'll do a poll this time. Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, other. You know, Chris Sale is in there as well. You could go a number of different directions. Dan Plesac, Tom Verducci are here. Tom, I'll start with you. That ERA plus is what stands out to me. It's like you're number 1. I know Grove has more innings, but that is an all-time upper echelon great.
Yeah, very impressive, especially as you pointed out. It takes into consideration park factors and the league run-scoring environment. That's great. The only problem there is be careful because that doesn't include what's coming, the decline phase of his career.
Right.
He's still an active pitcher. We start talking about legacies way too early in this business. I get it. But, for instance, Justin Verlander has thrown 600 more innings than Clayton Kershaw.
Right.
Is that adjusted ERA still going to be 157 if you pile on another 600 innings at this age for Clayton Kershaw? No, it won't be. But I think it's instructive on how good he's been historically. For me, Kershaw is the best pitcher in this generation because of the ERA, because of the winning percentage. But if I need to win one game, I'm giving the ball to Justin Verlander.
Okay.
So the postseason component cannot be ignored because they both have about the same number of games, 39 and 38. Mm-hmm. And Verlander's ERA is almost a full run lower than Kershaw's. And I know Kershaw's had his moments. When you pitch 39 times, you're going to have your moments. But overall, Verlander's been the more reliable October pitcher.
My vote, I did a whole essay on that. My vote was on Verlander. I landed on him mainly because of the innings, a little bit, obviously better postseason. But again, the guy we're watching here, I don't know if we fully appreciate him, Dan.
Yeah, I was, by the slimmest margins, I casted my vote for Verlander. And I think what has hurt Clayton Kershaw the last 3 or 4 years, he's had some injuries with his arm, he's had some injuries with his back, and we haven't yet seen the real Clayton Kershaw. We've seen real mini pockets, 4 or 5 starts, then something happens, he gets derailed. And I know you go back to last year in the postseason, it's hard not to forget about that game against the Diamondbacks. And I don't know if that played a factor in, like, he wanted to come back because there was no way he was going to end it on that kind of a note like he did last year. I will say this, Brian. You could really make a case he's one of the top 5 left-handed starting pitchers to ever put on a pair of cleats. That is a fact. And I think what's been lost in the shuffle the last few years, we haven't seen the real Clayton Kershaw. And with that, he's kind of fallen out of flavor when we talk about the top pitchers in this last, say, 10 or 12 years.